So in verse 9, the necessity of Guru. Verse 10, qualities of a Sadguru. And such a Sadguru should be living. Emphasis on Pratyaksha. That was in verse 11. He specially uses the word Paroksha Jin, means Jina not in the physical form, only in the form of murtis and scriptures, shastras. But not in physical form, because if he was in the physical form, he would have been called Pratyaksha Jin. But he is called Paroksha Jin because he is either in the form of murtis or shastras. One of them every sect of Jainism has to accept. Sthanakvasi won't accept a murti, but shastra, if it doesn't accept, that means he is not accepting a jina only. So murti and shastra. The murti pujak or the deravasis accept both. Digambars also accept both. Sthanakvasi accepts one. But finally, that is the Paroksha Jin, our only contact with the jinas. So that's, we don't have Pratyaksha Jin, we have Paroksha Jin, but we have Pratyaksha Guru. And the upkar, the obligations, the favors of a Pratyaksha Guru is not the same as Paroksha Jin. And by meaning, what is the meaning, what is the significance of not the same? It is even greater. And how it is greater, he'll be explaining in the following verses, or say full Atma Siddhi Shastra. So, screen. Having shown the importance not of a Sadguru, but a Pratyaksha Sadguru. Not only of a Sadguru, but that Sadguru being Pratyaksh. So, having shown the importance of a living Sadguru, now shows his exceptional benevolence, his upkar, and says,
Sadguru na upadeshvan समझायन जिनरू समझावन उपकार शो समझे जिन स्वरूप.
So Sadguru na means enlightened mentor or a true teacher. Upadesh one means nahi. Upadesh means teaching. So without his teaching, without the teaching of a Sadguru, Sadguru na Upadesh one, without the teaching or preaching of the Sadguru, Samajai na cannot understand, cannot grasp. Samjai na what? Sooner samjai, what you cannot understand. Jinaru, the true nature of the jina or the true state of the jina. True nature of the jina, which includes his state and his obligations, both. His dasha and his upkar, his state in his inner state and his upkar or obligations on us. So together you can say the true nature of the jina. Jina means the victorious, the conquerors of the inner enemies. So, Samjayana Jinru, without the teachings of a Sadguru, one does not understand the true nature of the jina. So what? Samajyavan upkar sho. Without this understanding, how can any good be derived? by the worship or the devotion of a Jina, Jineshwar Bhagwan, what benefit will you derive in worshipping, chanting, reciting, pujan of a Jineshwar Bhagwan if you actually don't understand the true nature of the Jina only? And that is not possible without the teaching of a Sadguru. So, Samjhe Jina Swarup, then alone it is possible, only by the insight of a Sadguru, then alone it is possible to comprehend the true nature of the Jinas. So beautiful. So the short meaning says, one cannot understand the nature of Jineshwar Bhagwan without the preaching of an enlightened mentor, Sadguru. What benefit could be derived by a soul without this understanding? One can comprehend and attain, two words. Comprehend means understand. Attain is attain. One can comprehend and attain the state of the Jina only if he understands the nature of the Jina with the help of a Sadguru. So, samajai ane pamai, comprehend samajai, attain pamai. Two words you need to just add there. Samjai, with the help of a true teacher, you can comprehend the nature of the Jina and attain the state of the Jina. Samjai, pamai, comprehend, attain. Okay, should I start the explanation? Your attention, your eyes, everything on me. So you are realizing this verse is actually in connection with verse 11. First time the word jin was used. Jin and jin as paroksha jin because he is not present. But Jineshwar was used. Because of our traditional beliefs, we are used to going to temples, chanting his name, his mala, or going for puja, or worshipping, or saying Uvasagram Stotra or Bhaktamar Stotra dedicated to Adinath Bhagwan, Bhaktamar Stotra, Uvasagram Stotra to Parshvanath Bhagwan. So, because of our traditional beliefs and because we are born in a giant family, if you know little bit more than Naukar Mantra, so it will be stutis, little more stotras. We are used to bhajoing, worshipping, chanting, reciting. So first we teach our children Naukar Mantra. Thoda mota tha etle Darshanam Deva Devasya, that is the first stuti. And many stutis. Pachi, why don't you learn Uvasagram Stotra? Why don't you learn Bhaktamar Stotra? So, first it's the mantra, Mahamantra of Jainism. Then it is the stutis of the Jinas. Then the stotras of the Jinas. So, somewhere deep within, we feel worshipping the Jinas is the path of self-realization or liberation. There is so much deep within us that worshipping a living person takes time to digest. It takes time to digest the concept of worshipping someone living, and that too with the realization that his upkar is more than the one sitting in the temple. Not very easy. So the connection of this 11 and 12, okay, if you feel only worshipping the Jinas is going to solve your, you'll be self-realization, you will accomplish self-realization, you will attain self-realization. Correct, only with the teachings of a Pratyaksha Sadguru and not without that. not by ignoring a Pratyak Sadguru, but only by a Pratyak Sadguru, understanding the nature of the jina and then worshipping the jina, you are going to attain self-realization. So see the connection without his insight. Why Pratyak Sadguru? Because he's actually treaded that path. Though not attained absolute liberation from the body, from all the 8 karmas, etc., but getting rid of monia is also enough. Darshan monia is also a big thing. So the devotion to the jinas must continue. Don't stop. But it will yield results only if you take the help of a Pratyak Sadguru. So the significance of the verse, because Paroksha Jinni Vathati, so don't stop worshipping him. What needs to be added? The direction, the understanding. Don't stop worshipping. Now Pratyaksha Guru is everything for me, so I'm not going to go to temples. Don't do that. But how can this worshipping of the jinas become beneficial to you through a Sadguru, by a Sadguru? That is explained in this verse. So you saw the connection? Such a beautiful flow. Again he's saying, don't, because of your devotion for your Pratyak Sadguru, just don't stop worshipping the jinas also. So let's understand this. See, some days back I was talking to you about the goal and the target. What was the difference between a goal and a target? So, so year 1989 to 1990, that was my first year of MA. So I didn't stay with my parents. I stayed at Prithvi, 3rd floor. Masters, where are they? Oh, no, 2 brothers are enough. 2 brothers are enough. Shekhar and Sunil is also there, right? And you know who was in Seva? Sunil Master and Shobna Masi, yeah. She was taking care of the kitchen, and आ भाई तो एंट्रोप जवानी तैयारी करता था कि निकली गया था 89, हाँ तो तैयारी करता था. And Sanju had gone to Surat for his for what? Training. He took training, but he was in Surat. Okay, fine. So basically, I was just finding reasons to go away from my mom, who had so much attachment to me. So 1 year I stayed in Prithvi, then 3 years I stayed in Dun, then 2-3 years I stayed in Menka. Being in Bombay, I would not prefer to stay at home. But finally, my karmas brought me to Prithvi only. That is another thing. But I'd been running away, so I said, बहुत deep study करवानु तो घरे नहीं था. So, and Sanju no flat का sorry, all 3, yeah. મોટો સંજુ ને એટલે તો અત્યારે નો ફ્લેટ ખાલી હતો અને કોઈ રહેતું બી નહોતું. પછી આ ભાઈ સુરતથી હોશિયાર થવા માટે બોમ્બે આવ્યા, સોરી ઇન્ડિયા બોલાઈ ગયું, બોમ્બે આવ્યા હોશિયાર થવા માટે, રાઈટ. અને થોડો ટાઈમ કરી બી હતી, આઈ થિંક કોલેજ કે એવું કહે. So he was also there, I said, and his name was Bopu that time and now also. And so I said, it's fine, I'll stay with Bopu. And Masi would cook nice food. And 1 year, I think 2nd year, sorry, 90 to 91, sorry, 1990 to 1991, because Mara gold medal news came at their house. All the 6-7 scholarships I got, that also came at their house. Scholarship was not so great. One scholarship was of 7,000 rupees. That time. Hello. That time. 90s માં 7,000 was not bad. So gold medal to whatever, gold nu જ હોય obviously. one Jahangir Award, one Tata Award, one Birla Award, some Jainism, or 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, not much. And one was to go to Germany for higher studies, which I had no option. I gave it away, and it went to Keith, my colleague. This Komal has ruined, this devotee કરીને કેટલું સ્વીટ હતું, devotee એટલે વોટ ન આપે તે, ચોઇસ ન આપે તે, devotee, one who does not vote, one who does not chooses, one just surrenders. હવે એવું devotee કરીને જાણે દાંતમાં કેવિટી હોય એવું લાગે. I yet choose to say devotees of Srimad. It's such a sweet word. Devotee. So whatever. So I used to, how much ever sponsorships I got, total જે બી થતું હશે, I said, check બતાવી દીધો પપ્પા મમ્મીને કે આવી રીતે આવ્યું છે. So, and then donated. Half I gave, whatever the amount was, not such a big amount also. Half I gave for spreading religion. Half I gave for spreading humanity. I am very clear in my mind. Some people have, they have that notion, hospital માટે આપવું છે, જીવ મૈત્રી ધામ માટે આપવું છે, એજ્યુકેશન માટે આપવું છે, મંદિર ફંદિર માટે નથી આપવું. I don't believe in that. Who taught us compassion? Who taught us humanity? If not for Mahavir, I would have used this for my luxuries. So one should do something for the spread of religion, obviously, and compassionate works. So in 90s also I was clear. હજી તો સંસ્થા બી બની નહોતી, 94માં બની, કે you should be working for both, for spreading of religion also, whatever way, and the exact philosophy of the religion, which is compassion, humanity, etc. So, I don't know આ વાત ક્યાંથી આવી, but I was staying at Prithvi, I said, the second year of my MA. So, I used to go to the university 4 times a week. So my goal is to go to the university at Kalina, Santa Cruz, Kalina University. So what is my first target? What is my first target? Walk down the hill, Kambala Hill, right? Alta Mount Road. What? Kambala Hill, I think. So come out of the building of Prithvi, walk down the hill, and ત્યાં આગળ bus stop છે, bus stop ઉપરથી I used to catch a bus to go to Grant Road station, then a train to Santa Cruz, then again a bus to the university, and then walk in the campus and go to my classroom or the library. So my goal is Kalina, but what is my first target? મારે ટાઈમ શું જોવાનો? બસનો પેલું નહીં. My first target is I have to catch the 9:30 bus because I have to catch the 9:50 train. I have to take the 10:20 bus. Then I reach at 10:50 and my class starts at 11. It used to start at 11. So what is my first target? My goal? But my target, you miss it. So in the same way, my goal is absolute liberation. But my target is self-realization. So sometimes I'll just say path to self-realization, because that's my first target. Or I might say path of liberation, because that's my goal. So if my goal is liberation, what is my target? Self-realization. To attain self-realization, one must one needs to be inspired by the jinas, because they are the seeker's supreme model. Seekers, sadhakono, adarsh, supreme. I want to be like this omniscient, vitragi, detached, jinas, conquerors. So that's my model, right? So I should be inspired. You cannot say, મને કંઈ થતું જ નથી ભગવાનને જોઈને. If you are not inspired, means you are not inspired for your goal only. You don't care about your goal, and you are not going to reach your first target also. Because you are not tuned to the, aligned to the path or tuned to the goal. If I am, then worship of the jinas is, I cannot say it's a must, it's very obvious. Who is worthy of your devotion? Look at the jinas. Faultless, pure, complete, omniscient. Correct? See how the Gatha unfolds slowly. My goal is liberation, so my target is self-realization. For that, to attain the target of self-realization, I need to be inspired by the Supreme, that is the jinas. My devotion, who is worthy of my devotion? The Supreme Omniscient Lord or God, which we call jinas. Siddha Bhagwans were never on the earth. Siddha Bhagwan were never, I'm not saying in the cosmos or the universe, I'm saying the word earth. પૃથ્વી ઉપર સિદ્ધ ભગવાન કદી નથી હોત. અર્યંત ભગવાન હોય છે, અત્યારે નથી. So you need to understand the jinas perfectly. Siddhas you will never understand because they are bodiless. How do you comprehend anything? So siddhas I am not talking. Jinas I am talking, you can. But not being not present at this time, it's very difficult. You need a Pratyak Sadguru to make you understand the true nature of the jinas, meaning his inner state, vitragata, sarvagnata, his inner state and his obligations to you. Su upkar છે Jineshwar Bhagwan. અત્યારે તો he is not present, he is not preaching in front of you. Still, why you want to say કે અનંત ઉપકાર છે ભગવાનના? What ઉપકાર has he done? Is he doing? Sorry. What upkar? See, you don't know. Just because your parents said that this is Bhagwan Mahavir and you need to worship, but you are not understanding why, what obligations and what is his state. You are understanding? It means without the insight of an enlightened master, I don't understand the swaroop of the jina, the nature of the jina, the inner state, inner purity of the jina, and the way the jina attain this purity. I don't know the path. And how do you expect to tread on the path when you don't know the path of the jinas? How are you going to go on the path when you are not clear? Bhagwanni sadhnama antarmukta. So I need to be antarmukh. But if you know the path, how we attain the state of jina, and what is that inner pure state of the jina, without that, how can true devotion rise in you? I am not saying traditional devotion, I am saying true devotion. What you are having is devotion because of your tradition. So if you are a Christian, it would have been for Jesus. If you are a Muslim, it would have been for Khuda. Because you are a Jain, it is for Mahavir. Because like that also you don't understand who is Mahavir and why Mahavir. You don't understand. Are you realizing how beautiful it is put here? Your devotion is not true devotion. Your true devotion will start only after the insight of a Pratyaksha Sadguru. So, knowing a guru, you will start knowing the jina, the inner state of the jina. Knowing the state of the jina or the nature of the jina, you start realizing yourself. Because knowing the nature of jina is equal to knowing the nature of the self. So your target of self-realization, surely you will attain. Because knowing the jina and knowing the self is same. One is dasha, one is swaru. So that's so it means guru is the most tangible way to attain the path of liberation, or say to understand the complex philosophy of the scriptures, Shastra and the jina I am using, because both are paroksha jin. So I'm seeing this words in sense of paroksha jin, continuation. So the complex philosophy in the Shastras means seeing one thing from multiple viewpoints, etc. So Guru is the most tangible way. Rather, a Pratyaksha Sadguru will give you the keys to open the doors to enlightenment. એવી ચાવીઓ આપશે કે જેથી તાલુ ખુલે અને તમારા આત્મ સાક્ષાત્કારના દ્વાર ખુલી જાય. Open the doors to self-realization. Of nothing, to. Okay? So now, it makes so much sense. Sadguru na updesh vana, without the insight of a Sadguru. Samajayana jina roop, you are not going to understand the true nature of the jinas. So all your devotion will be just because of the tradition. Samjya vina upkar sho. So without understanding the nature of the jina, if you are going to chant, recite, worship, do pujans, do sathyas, do divas, do agarbatti and dhoops, how is the soul going to derive benefits? How is this type of worship be beneficial to you in your target of self-realization? Nothing you know besides Shantinath Bhagwan being the son of Ma Achira. એ બી કેટલાને ખબર નથી. Mother's name of Shantinath Bhagwan. Shantinath Bhagwan's Mata's name was Achira Devi. Go ahead, I want to know. Parashabin will tell us more about her favorite jina, Shantinath Bhagwan. So how much do you know about Shantinath Bhagwan? Because your whole life you are going to worship Shantinath Bhagwan to attain self-realization. You know nothing, you just know he is number 16. Lanchan is deer. Mother's name is Achira. Go ahead. So how is this type of worship going to help you in your pursuit of self-realization? Tell me. The funniest part is we know all the jinas in relation to, we identify all the jinas according to their body, their relationships, and their karmas, and nothing more. And that is not the nature of the jina. We do not worship him because his name is Shantinath. There are so many Shanti Bhais we don't worship. There are so many Shreyans Bhai which we hate. then there are so many Rushabs, which we feel they are really Rushab. Meaning, Balad. So we are not worshipping Rushabdev because his name is Rushab. We shouldn't be doing that, whatever the name is. Or Marudevana Lal. His mother's name was Marudeva Mata. Sons were Rushabdev's sons. બે તો નામ આપો, બાકીના 98 છોડી દો. ભરત બાહુબલી. You know, no? 100 sons. 2 daughters, names of 2 daughters. Brahmi and Sundari, from which the Brahmi lipi and forget. So, what do you know about Adinath? Body. કેટલા ધનુષ? કેવો કલર? કંચન વર્ણ્ય કાયા. We know 2 were red, 2 were black, 2 were blue, and 2 were white, and the rest were golden. You know. Want to go in detail? Red cone. Because we had one Nemnath Bhagwan in our 7 murtis. So Nemnath no color to black, so let's make a black murti, although he was not black. We are not worshipping because he was dark. We are not worshipping him because he was. But you see, you identify the jinas by their names, body, relationships, little bit the stories about them, Ma kon, Baap kon, Bhai kon, Chokra kon, that way. And karmas. Sadhana Kal of Bhagwan Mahavir. Then the Samotsaran Kal of Bhagwan Mahavir. The Devas Upsarg, the Devas making the assembly hall for him. All regarding his karmas. You just don't know one word of his inner state, which is worthy of devotion. That state is worthy of devotion, and you don't know anything about it, though you are a Jain for years. So what is Anjan Shalaka Pratishta? He will make you understand what is the nature of the jina. It is your Anjan Shalak, not Bhagwan's. He will make you see Bhagwan in that stone. Exact opposite is the Vidhi. You have to apply the Anjan on Bhagwan's eyes, but actually you have to apply it on your eyes. Okay, now this is, see, Attana you can say કે મૂર્તિનું જરા ગલું આવું છે, પેલું આવું છે. I don't get connected to it. All this you can say till it is stone. Once the pratishtha is done, you are not going to say, you are saying it's complete and perfect in every way. And I just need to be like him. So you have to do the Pratishtha Mahotsav. Pratishtha Mahotsav is not for the gods, it's for you. Right. So the funniest part is we know the jinas, we identify the jinas according to the names, bodies, relations and karmas, which is not the true nature of jinas. Unless a Sadguru explained, it's very, very difficult, rather impossible to comprehend the nature of the jinas. Sadguru explains to us the inner state and the way the jina became the jina, the path. So you get inspired to tread the path. Some way jage. You get motivated to at least make small targets and start achieving one by one to achieve the goal. Perfect. And then one develops pure devotion on understanding it. He gets immersed in that bhakti, and it is getting immersed in that pure bhakti that you destroy your ignorance, your ego, your attachments, fancies, everything. Everything just gets destroyed or dissolved in pure devotion. So without the understanding by the Pratyaksh Guru, it just remains a traditional, what do you say, custom. I will not even say bhakti for that. It's a traditional custom. If you are a pakka Deravasi, at the age of 4 you know different types of sathyas. Swastik, different type. It is, I knew. After the age of 6, every day it was a different sathya. Never the same. But that was the nature of, that was the path of bhakti taught to me at that time. Okay, this is bhakti. Different decorations, different ways of sathyas, different puja clothes. Every day different puja clothes. Means we were taught that every new dress first should be worn in puja. All my dresses of that age, anything. Short pant ma bhi હું પૂજા કરવા ગયો છું. Whichever, you saw the blue one yesterday, right? I had only 3 pairs. So people of that time knew it. કે આજે blue પહેર્યું છે, so if we meet him tomorrow, it is going to be red shirt. અને 3 શર્ટ હતા, વોગમાં કરાવ્યા હતા. You don't know. વોગ ટેલર છે આ શાલીમાર હોટેલની સામે. You don't know. તમે લોકો ત્યાં જ રહો છો તો એ ખબર નથી. ટેલરનું નામ છે વોગ. વોગ મીન્સ ફેશન. In vogue. In fact, the one you saw me was actually gifted by Dakshabin and Jeetubhai. છે કે નથી લોકો અહીંયા? તમે એક બી ગિફ્ટ કર્યું છે કે નથી કર્યું? અને એ પાછું તમારા પાર્શ્વને આવ્યું છે કે નહીં? મેં પહેર્યું, મારા પછી રાહુલે પહેર્યું, રાહુલ પછી નીરવ ઝવેરીએ પહેર્યું, એના પછી અપૂર્વ અને વિશાલે પહેર્યું, એના પછી પાર્શ્વને આવ્યું. એટલું સરસ રાખ્યું હતું. Correct or not? Maybe they might be having it also. Ranveer is wearing now. મારી મમ્મીનો તો એક ખેમો નામનો દરજી હતો, સિક્કાનગર રહેતો હતો. એની પાસે કપડાં સીવતા હતા. પણ જ્યારે આ ફેશનેબલ કપલ જોઈન થયું તે વખતે જીતુભાઈ વોઝ કન્સિડર્ડ ફેશનેબલ. તો એ કે અમને 1 લાખ આપો. અને કે ઓકે. અને એમને વોગમાં સીવડાવ્યા. હું વોગમાં જ્યારે માપ આપવા ગયો ને ત્યારે આઈ વોર ધ બેસ્ટ ઓફ માય ક્લોથ્સ. આપણે તાજમાં જવાનું હોય માપ આપવા માટે તો કપડાં બી સારા કરવા. તે વખતના બેસ્ટ પહેર્યા ટુ ગેટ અ બેસ્ટ ન્યૂ પેર. આ બધી મેમરીઝ છે કે બધી ભૂલાઈ ગઈ છે? હા, ફાઇન છે. હા, પૂરેપૂરી છે. વોટ ટાઈમ આઈ હેડ ગોન ફોર માપ, ધેટ ઓલ્સો આઈ રિમેમ્બર. સવારના 11 વાગે. So all this is not important. Traditional customs na karane I said every new pair of clothes first puja. It's used in puja, and then whether you want to keep it for puja clothes or you want to wear keep it for party clothes, you have to decide. But so આટલી બધી ભક્તિ હતી પણ ખબર પડી all this is not bhakti. પછી ખબર પડી પ્રભુ મળ્યા. Vachramrut, after the study of Vachramrut, I realized this is no bhakti. Bhakti is giving up your ego, your ignorance, your likes, your dislikes. How much sense this verse is making? So we'll sing it again.
Sadguru na updesh van समझायन जिनरू समझावण उपकार शो समझे जीन स्वरूप